What is up, YouTubians? Cooter Malo here, coming at you with another exciting video. Okay, so in this one, I'm going to be talking about how I achieved beautiful sourdough bread that has a nice crunchy exterior with a beautiful soft interior. This video is going to cover the oven settings, where to put the bread and which rack and all that good stuff, and what to set it to and how to set it and yada, yada, yada. Red cabbage sauerkraut fermenting on the countertop in the meantime. Okay, so let's get into it. I have a convection oven. This happens to be a double-decker, right? 2-story. And let's talk about the settings. So if you notice on your lower oven, right, you have a lower oven convection. So let's talk about that real quick. What a convection oven is there's basically a fan back in there. As you can see, there's a fan. The fan spins around and basically circulates the air in a convection-like manner to basically circulate all of your food and keep the air flowing around it as it cooks in there. The next thing I'm going to tell you about is the bake setting and the roast setting. So the bake setting is basically only activating the lower burner, right? That lower burner that's down there. The roast setting activates that top burner, as you can see up there, right? That top burner that's up there, and the bottom burner as well. So I'm using both top and bottom heat to cook the food on the roast setting. In terms of where the oven rack should be, I have 5 different settings, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like the one that's just below the middle one. If you have a convection oven that only has 3 settings, keep it in the middle, you should be fine. Okay, so let's continue. So after you've made your dough, right, and you're shaping it into loaves, maybe you're doing the method where you stuck it in the fridge overnight. However you got to the point where you have your loaves, now you're ready to bake it, right? So the trick to getting this beautiful exterior crust with a nice soft, right, chewy inside is as follows. What I do is I set my lower convection to roast first. 500 degrees, hit start. When that gets to 500 degrees, I'm going to put my loaves into the bottom oven, right? To let them convection roast, basically. So they're being hit from the top and the bottom with heat. And what that's going to do is that's going to allow the oven spring to happen, right? So if you notice here where I scored my bread, it exploded, basically. It even came out the side. This thing expanded so much that it fused together with the other 2 loaves that were next to it. So that gives you an idea of the kind of oven spring that's happening. So 500 degrees roast for 15 minutes. And that's going to allow that oven spring to happen. The next step in the process is I need to reset all this, right? So I shut it off and then immediately go to bake, right? So lower convection bake, I'm going to hit that, set it to 400 degrees, hit start. And what that's going to do is that's only going to utilize the bottom burner, right? At 400 degrees on the bake cycle, I'm going to bake for 30 minutes. And what that does to your dough is it basically allows the bread, right, starting to turn into bread now, to cook through the center. So it's nice and cooked. It's not too doughy. It's not too wet or whatever. It just comes out perfect in the middle. After that process, right, I'm not opening the door. The door has been shut this entire time. I haven't opened the door once. What I want to do is I want to reset the settings again. So I'm going to turn it off and then immediately go back to the roast setting, right? Roast, 450 degrees, hit start. And let that go for 5 minutes. So what that last roast setting does is I activated the top burner again. So it's top burner, bottom burner. Bread's pretty much cooked through. What this last roast setting at 450 degrees is going to do for me is it's going to give me that nice crust, right? So if you listen, that's how crunchy and crusty the outside is, right? So 5 minutes at 450 degrees on the roast setting, then you can shut your oven off once and for good. Then finally you can open your door, right? Take your bread out, put it on top of the stove, let it sit there for about an hour, hour and a half. Sometimes I'll even let it go 2 hours. And basically you end up with beautiful sourdough bread that is crunchy on the outside. Let's take a closer look at this. Look at that nice, beautiful crunch all the way on the outside, and then soft and sandwichable in the middle. Yes, I turned sandwich into a verb. So if you cut this, right, I'm sandwiching my sourdough into about 1/2 inch slices, turning into a adjective, adverbial phrase. I don't know. I wasn't really good in English. Anyways, you get the idea. Perfect sourdough bread every time. Crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside. Cooter Malloy, please give me a big like here on YouTube. Subscribe button over here. Down in the description there down below, there are links to a lot of great products online if you like to explore that. There is also a link down below to Facebook and my Facebook page, Cooter Malloy Product Reviews. Make sure to visit that Facebook page. Give me a big like on that page and a subscribe if you like what you're seeing, and I will continue to bring you more great content. Have a good one. Have a nice sourdough kind of a day, and I will catch you all on the next one.